up, mamas? This is Candace with smartmomblogger.com, and I am coming to you today with our very first 10-minute webinar in this 10-minute webinar Smart Mom Blogger series. And we are kicking this series off with a very special guest. Her name is Marissa Lawton, and she is with the Riss Lawton Company. And she's going to share with us today about how to reverse engineer our blogging tasks to save time. And the reason I wanted to kick the series off with Marissa is because I think that really speaks to the heart of what this series is about and what us mom bloggers are really struggling with all the time. And that is that we feel like we never have enough time, not just for blogging, but just for life in general, but especially trying to grow our blog. It just never really feels like there's enough time to do that. So I'm really excited to have Marissa on. And Marissa, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Candace. I'm so happy to be here. This is such a cool idea. I always have my own webinars, and 95% of the people watch the replay because they don't have time to watch live. So this 10-minute idea is awesome.
Great. Well, thank you. And just as you're sipping your water, I did want to do a little bit more of an intro for you, just to give the moms an idea about what you're all about. And Marissa is a productivity strategist for mompreneurs, and she is the mama behind the Riss Lawton Company. She's the creator of Busy But Balanced, a one-on-one intensive program that helps mom business owners hone their family core values and build a schedule around it. So, and I just really quick before I let you dive in, Marissa just got published for the first time on Huffington Post. I think it was last week or the week before. And I was just floored by your article. I loved it. And I love what you have to share about how to manage our time. So I'm really excited to have you once again. So I'm just gonna let you go ahead and jump into it. Share with us how we can reverse engineer our blogging tasks.
Awesome. Okay, well, so yeah, today we're talking about how you can reverse engineer your big visions, and that will help save you time. So step number one of this is you need to be really, really clear on that big vision. So this is almost like a prerequisite, but I want you and
Marissa,
really clear.
You know what? Before you go on, I'm sorry to interrupt you already, but you are, you did kind of, looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty when you talk, and I want to make sure that these mamas are hearing what you have to say. So it was really clear and great right when we got started before we jumped into it. So you're clear now. So let's pick it up from the top. We're going to try that again, because I know we got that you're very clear. We need to be very clear on our big vision, and that's the starting point. So after that, it kind of glitched in and out. So let's try this again, and please let us know once again, what you're doing.
Okay, so big vision. Well, I want you to get really clear on your big vision for your blog. And this can be your 5-year goal or your 1-year goal, whatever feels comfortable for you. But I want you to spend some time here and really get in tune with that, because that is going to guide everything that we do. So think about your blog in the sense of, do you want it to just be a great community or a great source of support for people in your niche? Or are you looking to monetize your blog? What is your huge goal? And if everything went ideally perfect your own way, what would your blog be doing for you in 12 months or 24 months? So get really clear on that. Start to even feel what it would feel like, because I want that to be so much a part of you.
Okay.
So that's step one. And like I said, it's almost a prerequisite. It kind of takes a little bit of work up front. But then we'll get into the time-saving strategies. So step two is working backwards from that vision. And people are like, wait, what? I'm going to make a plan by working backwards? And this really does work. Believe me, I thought I made this up. Like literally, I thought I made this up. And I was telling my husband, look, I just wrote this blog post. And he said, plan every single one of our missions is we work backwards from the end goal. So it's not made up. I didn't come up with this, even though I thought I did. So that this process really does work. So you want to take your vision and you want to go in the teeniest, tiniest increments backwards that you can. So we're not talking about going 10, 9, 8. We're talking going like 10 to 9.9 to 9.8. And the thing about this is the more specific you are, the more time you're going to save. And the reason for that is you're not going to be missing things, and you're not going to be going on a path that looks like a big spiral or like a big zigzag or something. You're going to be going in a very linear path with clear direction. And so that's how you save yourself time. And now, if this is kind of like still abstract for you a little bit, I have 2 questions to ask yourself. So you're at your big vision and you want to know what the step right before is. You're going to ask yourself 2 questions. The first question you're going to ask is, what choices did I have to make to get here? And your second question is, what are the obstacles I overcame to get here?
Okay. And you're speaking of, when you're saying to get here, you're talking about to get to that point of your big goal.
Right.
Okay.
So if you're at level 10 and you're trying to think of what is 9.9, ask yourself these questions. And I have an example for you, so it'll make a little bit more sense. But let's say that your big blogging goal, your big vision, is to launch an ebook because you want to have a passive income stream. You want to monetize your blog and you want to put something together for your audience. Now, when people think about launching an ebook, their eyes glaze over and they're like, that's so much I have to do. Like, how do I even begin to do that? But really, if you apply these questions, you can work yourself all the way back to the very first step. So let's imagine that we're at our end goal, and our end goal is we just received an email that someone purchased our ebook, and we're freaking out. We're like, oh my God, I just made a sale. Someone bought my ebook, right? So think about, if that's step 10, what is 9.9? Okay, so if someone just bought my ebook, what did they have to do? They had to click on the buy now button, right? They had to put in their credit card information. They had to actually buy the thing. Okay, so what are the choices that I had to make to go into that? Well, I had to decide who was going to be my my payment. Was I going to use PayPal, or was I going to use like DPD or Stripe or one of those other things? What obstacles did I have to overcome? Well, I had to figure out the tech of how to actually put a button on my site. So there you go. You've answered that question for you. So right before that, you had someone was ready to buy the ebook, you had to have the ebook edited. Either you did it yourself or you found someone to edit it for you. Okay, so again, ask those questions. The choices: do I self-edit? Do I have a copywriter edit? What obstacles did I overcome? Well, if I chose a copywriter, I had to find the right copywriter. So working backwards like this, you're answering all the questions, and ultimately you're saving yourself time because you're not like running around with like a chicken with its head cut off trying to figure out all these answers. You're mapping it out in a very like succinct way. So it really helps you not only get an action plan, it's a roadmap. You know exactly where you're going, but it's an efficient roadmap because you're not taking a ton of detours on the way.
That's awesome. It's funny because I know you probably have more to say. I'm just going to jump in. I told you I wouldn't jump in, but I have to, because I was just going to say I've heard the concept of working backwards from your goal. I've heard that concept before, but the way that you're explaining it is kind of like making light bulbs go off in my head, because it's funny, like you're so right with how specific you have to be, because when you work forward, at least for me, it's kind of like I'm figuring it out as I go along, and I'm like, well, what else do I need? And you don't really know, but that working backwards technique seems like it makes so much more sense.
Yeah, and another big thing is you don't skip things. Like I like this analogy. We probably all like HGTV. I've yet to meet somebody who doesn't like
Yes.
So this example kind of makes sense, but we've all seen that episode where like the flooring never showed up, and then so the cabinet guy can't do his job and the appliances can't get installed. If they had worked backwards and said what needs to happen first, then they would have known 3 weeks ago, okay, I have to order my floors, because if they're not here by now, then I can't move forward with my project. So that's something that working backwards really helps you do. Not only does that save you time and give you this efficient roadmap, but you don't miss the steps. That when you start and kind of just make it up as you go or figure it out as you go, you can miss steps. And then that's where we start going in that crazy direction, because we're like, oh, wait, I have to go detour over here because I forgot this part.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So that's kind of all I had. I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes for everybody, but
thank you. No, that's fantastic. I love the example that you gave too, because I think that that's going to help a lot of the moms who are watching, the mom bloggers, because it's not everybody's goal to, you know, make an ebook, but I think that's an example that is, it's kind of like can be applied to a lot of different things that we want to do with our blog. So whether it's create maybe an email course or create like a blog post series, a lot of that can be pulled from that example you gave with the ebook. So that is awesome. Well, Marissa, thank you. We are coming up on our 10 minutes, but I think that's what you've given me. I'm going to write this out into a worksheet too for everyone. So it's been amazing already. I can already think of like at least 3 different goals that I'm going to apply this technique to with my own blog. So we're going to wrap up, but I did want to just ask you, because I'm sure the moms watching are going to want to know, what do you have going on right now? Where can we find out more about you? And just let us know a little bit more about you before we sign off.
Yeah, you guys can find my blog and my website over at risslawton.com. And Candace mentioned my Busy But Balanced program, and my philosophy is that we're all busy. Busy gets such a bad rap, but there's a benefit to being busy if you're busy with the right things, because that's what fulfillment is. Being busy with all the wrong things, that's what overwhelm is, right? So there's a difference there. And I don't think any of us would be happy if we weren't busy doing what we love.
Good point.
So I've created a worksheet for everybody called the Balanced Mompreneurs Audit. And you can get that right at bit.ly/balancedmompreneur. And what it does is it helps you focus on your core values first and your obligations second. So many people do that in the wrong order. But what this does is your core value, and then it helps you build a monthly schedule with that in mind.
Well, that's awesome. And I just wanted to say I have mine. I'm going to show it off. Woo! I've been working on mine, so because yeah, I'm like crazy frazzled mom blogger lately, so I could not wait to download it, and it's awesome. So yeah, you guys check that out. I'll leave the link below. Thanks, Marissa. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for, we have a lot of great 10-minute webinars coming up in the following weeks. So we will see you all soon. Make sure you leave any questions you have in the comments, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.